ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. So which was the verse we are doing?
11th. We finished the 10th. We have to do the 11th now.
11th is
Okay.
started.
Okay, now any questions, clarifications, or we go ahead? Up to what we have seen up to now, the 10th verse. Okay. And going ahead, he says, रसादयोः ये कोशाः व्याख्यातः तैत्रीयके तेषामात्मा परो जीवः सखं यथा स्वं प्रकाशितः. Says ye kosha rasadaya. Rasadaya here means the essence of food, etc. That makes your annamaya kosha. Okay. Remember we have seen before in Taittiriya Upanishad 5 levels of your personality where you make a mistake about yourself. I am the body, that's annamaya kosha. Why kosha? Because it seems to cover. Koshavat achadakatva. Like a kosha. Meaning it's not exactly a kosha, but it is. What is a kosha supposed to do? Cover something. So this also covers. But this cover is more like camouflaging. You make a mistake. The mistake itself is the covering. Because you took the body to be yourself. Therefore, the all-pervading self is hidden from your view. Why? Because you are taking the body to be yourself. Annamaya kosha, similarly pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, your emotions, etc. Vijnanamaya kosha, your reasoning, understanding, etc. Anandamaya kosha, nothing but ignorance. Your karana shariram. All this at these levels, you make a mistake and say, I am this much.
Swamiji,
Yeah?
sorry. I think you are referring to the third.
Yes.
Yes,
Swamiji, there is a mistake. It
This is
is
the third.
Karana. Yeah.
Alata Shanti Prakarana.
Oh, sorry.
Alata Shanti.
I'm doing, you're right. I'm doing Alata, I'm doing Advaita Prakaranam. Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
The verse is correct. But
Yeah, even I was thinking, yes,
Advaita
this
Prakaranam.
verse sounds very old.
Advaita Prakaranam.
Yeah. Okay. कारणं यस्य वै कार्यः कारणं तस्य जायते जायमानं कथम् अजं भिन्नं नित्यं कथं च तत्. कारणं यस्य वै कार्यं. For those who say it is a cause effect, cause itself that's appearing as the effect. Correct, no? The cloth itself appears as a kurta. Can you say it's not correct?
It is correct.
The clay itself appears as a pot. The gold itself appears as an ornament. All Vedantic examples. Okay. So, okay. Karnimyasya vai karyam. That means what? Karanam tasya jayate. That means what you are saying, it is the cause that is becoming the effect. Does the cause undergo some modification or doesn't it undergo? It may not change its intrinsic nature of gold, but does it undergo modification or not? It does. Therefore, jayamanam katham ajam. If it is supposed to be born, how can it be ajam, nityam, katham sajat? That means even if it is undergoing some modification, Therefore, we talk about Karya Karana from the standpoint of Maya. Really speaking, those examples of gold, etc., pot and clay, etc., are only to show Satyam Mithya. Okay? The Atma does not undergo any modifications in time and space to become a Jiva. Why? Because then Atma will become under time and space. So these examples are used only to establish Mithyatva, to show there is no intrinsic change. It is not to establish a change. That's why Atma appears as the world without undergoing any change. That's why we use words like appearance, etc., rather than modification, etc. You say the world is nothing but an appearance. That way you can go further. Kurta is also an appearance only, no? What is there is nothing but cloth. But because cloth is time bound, space bound, there is some sort of modification happening. When you are talking about the Atma is limitless, no type of modification can take place. So in the case of the Atma, the world is a mere appearance. But appearances are powerful, yeah. A concept is a powerful thing.
Swamiji, can we take it as a Parinamivada? When
No,
he says this,
Vivartavada.
Vivartavada.
He is dismissing Parinamavada.
Okay.
Yeah. See, this later writers have made this Parinama and Vivarta. The Upanishad doesn't bother. Vikaro Nama Namadeyam. Vikaro Namadeyam, he says. Mritikeva Satyam. Therefore, he uses the word Vikara in the sense of what? Appearance. Vivarta. It didn't bother. The Upanishad doesn't bother about Vikara and Vivarta. It takes both as only appearance. Because all Vikara is Vivarta if you go at the molecular level. If you go at the atomic level, any modifications becomes only a change of structure, that's all. You just have to go deeper into it. Therefore, the whole world becomes what? An appearance on the Atma. What do you mean by appearance? Name and form. That's all. Now the problem is, when you hear the word appearance, you immediately think of rope snake. No. I am talking like round earth and flat earth. Flat earth is an appearance, round earth is a fact. But when you are walking, what are you dealing with? Flat or round? As it is with all the road being dug up, it's a pain to walk. On top of it, if you had to walk on a round earth, what will happen? Yeah. For the last 3 months, my road has been dug up. But now it's not over, last little bit is left. So the idea is, it's an appearance. Can you deny it's an appearance? And can you deny that there is a certain amount of functional validity in it, in the flatness? When you are putting up a building, are you making the foundation curved? Or are you making it flat? The plinth. It will be flat, it will not be curved. Basic engineering. So you are dealing with a flat earth, which is an appearance. Can anyone say it is anything other than an appearance? Rising sun, setting sun, appearance. You run your life by it, by the clock which is based on it. Most people don't see the rising sun. They only see the risen sun. Sheer appearance. But your life is run by the clock. So what does that indicate? An appearance can make you live a life. Functionally validity is there. That means what? There is no modification, there is no transformation, there is no vikara, there is no becoming. The consciousness appears like the world. Okay, Jayamanam Katham Ajam. No, no, okay. Okay. Then says no, the cause and effect both can be eternal. No? Therefore, here he is saying Karanadi Adya Antatman Karyam Ajam Yadi Jayamanadi Vai Karya Karnam Te Katham Dhruvam. If you say because the Karyam has come from this Karanam, and since Karanam is Nityam, Karyam also has to be Nityam, then you cannot have two entities. Because if something has come from something, both become finite. For all their identity, like mother and child, great amount of genetic identity, all that accepted. But two entities, no? Therefore subject to change, subject to birth and death. Both are finite. Therefore, you can't say there is a Karyam and Karanam and both are limitless. So what he is doing, look at it. In Vedanta we follow Karya Karana logic. And we establish everything has come from one Brahman, Karya Karana, Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam, etc. After that, what we are doing? Dismissing cause and effect. And in the process of dismissing cause and effect, you are saying there is no real creation. So what you talk about as creation and real now is understood as an appearance. Are you all getting it or not getting it?
If Karanam is Satyam, Karyam also becomes Satyam.
But then if Karanam is Satyam, can Karyam stand apart from Karanam?
Yeah, correct.
It can't stand, right?
It can be only found by bringing in, it is only an appearance. Otherwise, you have two.
No, that's not what we are saying. Punjabikation, listen to this. In the beginning, we talk about Karya Karanam to establish one cause.
Yes.
That everything is come from one source. Then after that, we dismiss cause-effect relationship to show mithyatva, to show that there is no cause-effect, it's only an appearance. So then the world becomes only an appearance. If the world is not an appearance and taken as real, then you will have Karanam, Karyam separate.
Yes.
Then both will become finite.
So Swamiji, this comes only from the Pramana, no? Because otherwise, in science and all the other arguments, it's always cause and effect, right?
Correct.
So only a Pramana can highlight this, can say this.
Pramana highlights it, but it is also understood logically. Remember, this is important to say. The Pramana is the source of this knowledge accepted. There is no other source other than the Pramana. But the Pramana is understood logically or just swallowed as a belief system. Why are we giving the example of flat earth and round earth? Because it has to be understood logically. So it has to be logically understood. It is not a belief in a Pramana. And this understanding that I am limitlessness has to be validated by everyone. And that validation is not on the basis of an experience. To know the earth is round is not based on any experience. It's perception. It's a knowledge. It's cognitive. then you use logic to explain away your experience of flatness. Similarly, we present yourself as infinite, limitless Brahman, then we bring in some theories to establish why you feel finite, why you are stuck in finitude. And tell me, without knowing yourself, without avidya of your true nature, can you be stuck in finitude? If I know I am consciousness, I can't be stuck in finitude. It's only when I don't know I can be stuck in finitude. Now you are understanding what Alata Shanti is about. Quietening that mind that is spinning on all these concepts. It is not just quietening the mind. It is negation of all these concepts. All these concepts have to be. Am I making sense to you all?
Yeah. Even the concepts which we are not acknowledging, we have to resolve them.
You're taken as real. You're not taken as the concept.
Yeah.
So somewhere else, Shankara in one of the smaller works, he says, वो द्वैता का भूत चढ़ गया है. You have an avesh of duality, he says. Because it's true.
So, Swamiji,
Yeah?
when we use logic, when we say we are explaining with logic, so logic uses the pancha pramanas, the other ones like
Correct.
comparison and
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that is used basically for the mithyatmam, right? Those pramanas are used for the, and then we use the same thing to explain the reality, right? So
To understand the reality, yeah. See, the basis is the pramana, Shabda pramana. But the Shabda is in the form of words. Words are knowledge. Words can be misinterpreted. Words can be understood differently. Therefore, you have to come logically to a proper understanding of the words. Therefore, logic is used for understanding. The pramana can declare, those who get it, get it. Those who don't get it will not get it. Then you have to come down and explain further. Yeah. Like someone we were traveling by train, someone asked a friend of mine, what are the three standpoints of Vedanta? Dvaita, Vishishta, Dvaita. So looked at that guy. Train mein journey. Dvaita says you are different from God. Vishishta Dvaita says you are part of God. Advaita says you are God. Go. Ho gaya kaam. Tell me, how much will that man understand? Nothing. Therefore, there has to be a lot of unfoldment, explanation, logic, etc. to make your mind understand. If you understand with the statement, no problems. But people are not ready enough to understand that. Pramana will declare, like in Taitriya, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. यो वेद निहितम गुहायाम स अश्नुते सर्वान कामान सह. हो गया काम. That's all. There's enough. Go. If you understand, it's fine. But then understanding requires some logic, some thinking, some this thing. Why? Because of the limitation of our human mind. Our human mind is limited. Pramana is not limited. My mind is limited. That's why the Shastra says Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, etc. Why does it say that? Because only that type of a mind will understand it without too much of logic. If you don't have that, you will need more logic. Vairagya nahi hai. I am too caught up in the world. No objectivity. My child. Then you'll read, what is that? The Prophet Khalil Gibran. Your children are not your children. They come through you. But they don't belong to you. They are the children of the innocent. Ha 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 ha, so good. Then what happens when your child disagrees with you? Everything goes haywire. What happened? Why is everything going haywire? Yeah. Why is everything going haywire? वो सब लिखने के लिए अच्छा है. That vairagya that you are supposed to have is not there. Objectivity. Hey, your kid is a separate person. He or she will have her own thinking and understanding and experience of life. They come with their own samskaras. वो सब क्या हो गया? Vairagya is not there. Objectivity is not there. So similarly, there can be 101 examples. Forget everything. How many husbands scream at their wives just because salt is less? Hey, salt is less, तो add some salt. ना काम हो गया क्या नहीं? Why are you making it a screaming match? Salt कम है, okay. इतना है ना, add something. Simple. I work so much whole day, hard day, etc. You only have to sit and cook. Still, you're not couldn't give me a proper meal. All the natakbaji starts. For what? And then you say you want to study Vedanta and understand truth. Yeah.
Swamiji, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, one of the Astika Darshanas, they talk about Srishti. There is also, I think in Purva Mimamsa, there is a view that Srishti is eternal and Bhagavan did not create the universe.
No.
Is that?
That is not Purva Mimamsa, that is Bauddha. Yeah.
Even in scientific theory, there is some steady state theory or something like that.
Science is trying, the one theory that the whole world is nothing but a virtual reality. We accept that, not a problem. We have been saying that all the time. Mithya appearance means what? Virtual reality. You give it a name and call it scientific.
I think Purva Mimamsa, there is no creation. It is permanent.
It's a steady state.
That's what they say that Srishti is eternal. That there is no need for
Srishti is internal, is not Purva Mimamsa.
Okay.
Srishti is internal, is one of the Buddhistic schools of it.
Bodhik, okay.
Yeah. The subjectivity is.
So how does Vedanta answer that? This eternal Srishti?
Because it's simple. Two Buddhists were arguing on the road. Okay. Creation is internal or creation is external. So a Zen master was passing by, or you can say Vedantin was passing by. He said, "Sir, please help us resolve this question. Is the creation inside your mind or outside your mind?" So this wise person looked at them both and said, "You know that big rock lying there? Is that outside you or inside you? Outside your mind or inside your mind?" He said, "Well, according to Kshanika Vijnanavada, it is inside your mind." And the wise man said, "Not a wonder you can't understand anything. You have a big rock sitting inside."
No, Swamiji, I have not understood the story. You told it couple of times. So what exactly does it point to, like?
You're stuck. You're stuck with that rock, which is very evidently outside you. All your pancha pramanas tell you it is outside. But some bhoot chad gaya and you're saying it is inside. So, your belief system, you don't have enough vairagya to your belief system to accept experiential facts. Now, experiential fact, you say Dvaita is real then. And Vedanta is saying Dvaita is only an appearance. So now you have to understand logically how Dvaita is only an appearance. Are you getting it? Or not getting it? Sunita,
Swamiji, so can I just
please
my
ask,
argument
please
here?
ask. Yeah.
Yeah. So if what I think this Shanika Vidya says that if there is a book outside and that Vritti Vyapti actually happens in my mind,
Correct.
if that Vritti Vyapti and the Phala Vyapti doesn't happen, then I don't acknowledge that book. I mean, my mind is somewhere else. And
Correct. You don't
So,
take it.
right. So that means that actually it is happening in my mind. So if there are 4 people or 2 people and one sees it and one doesn't see it, so the person who sees it is actually saying it in himself. So is that what you are trying to
No,
explain? Like that?
that's
Then
not
other
what
person
Kshanika
doesn't
Vijnanavadan
see
is
it.
saying.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that's what we are saying. That's what science is saying. That there is no event without an observer. But in that observation, okay, this is another argument to prove Mithyatam of the world. How do you say the book exists? Because you have Vritti Vyapti of the book, right?
Yes.
Then, if the book was not there, will you have Vritti Vyapti of the book?
No.
So now you have a case of mutual dependence. No? Book is there because you see it.
Okay.
And you are seeing it because it is there. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
You are seeing it because it is there.
Yes. Right.
So what is true? Have you proved anything independently?
No.
So it's called Anyonya Ashraya. Therefore, mutual dependence. And anything that is mutually dependent has a Mithyatam to it. Any mutually dependent entity is considered Mithya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Bharati, you have a question.
Yes, Swamiji. So, you gave the example if the book is not there, then it's not in my mind. But very often, you see something that is not there also. Like, if there's something moving and...
That's a projection.
You think
Yeah.
it's a cat.
That's a projection. That's pure Mithya anyway. Adhyasa. That's a projection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a projection can be to mistake a rope for a snake. A projection can be purely illusion, like seeing desert, mirage waters, etc. So both are fine. Both are adhyasa. Mental projections. Now what he's turning around and saying, whole world is a mental projection. Because what is there is only one reality, consciousness. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman is only reality. Then, whatever you see then is a projection. That's why you take anything in the world and analyze it, it will come back to existence consciousness. No? We have seen that a number of times. If everything comes back to existence consciousness, then what are all those intermediary steps? Projections only, conceptions only. But again, look at what I said before. When I say conceptions, you expect it to disappear. So what did I emphasize last time? It is mithya but important, right? Why did I emphasize that? Because you are expecting it. The moment you say mithya, you are expecting it not important in your day-to-day life. But something important, it can also be equally mithya. That is where the problem comes. You need to understand it like that. That what is mithya can be important in your functional life. Yeah. But it is mithya. Important, yes, nobody denies it.
That's tough.
Yeah. So unless you take that stand, it's difficult. Because you're expecting, the moment you say mithya, concepts, etc., you're expecting things to vanish. Because all the Vedanta you have heard, rope snake, rope snake, rope snake. The example has only been that. That rope snake is not there in any Upanishad. So this is where the issue comes up. That's why a great sense of objectivity has to be there with respect to what you consider important in your life. Tell me one thing. Is your toothbrush important or not important? Important, no? How can you brush your teeth twice a day? Minimum. Important. How much importance will you give it?
As much it deserves, not more than that.
Yeah.
You won't keep it in the puja room.
Yeah.
That's it.
You won't keep it in your cupboard also.
Yes.
Forget puja room. Yeah, Shavoni, you have a question.
So Swamiji, the rope snake example is not there in any Upanishad, as you said. So is the kurta cloth example a better one to really understand?
Yeah. The Upanishad uses examples like cloth it uses. It uses clay and pot, gold and ornaments, iron and instruments.
Clay pot, yes.
Yeah. It uses examples like that.
Right.
So for the sake of demonstration, I have added kurta and cloth. Because it's easy to demonstrate.
Swamiji. Silver and shell.
What is that?
Silver and shell.
Silver and shell. Okay.
Silver and shell.
Mandukya has got the snake, I think, example.
Commentary में है. This doesn't. Verses में नहीं. So that's where the whole thing comes. So that lack of vairagya, objectivity to the important things in my life prevents my understanding. It's simple as that. That's why I tell people, consider it important but mithya. So the mithyatva nishchaya has to be clear, even an important thing. So the important thing, because you take it as important, you will deal with it well. Because you take it as mithya, you will not get stuck on it. And you are getting what I am trying to say. So in other words, in the vision of Gaudapada Acharya, and in the vision of Vedanta, the whole world is nothing but an appearance. किधर है? है ही नहीं है. That's why they'll talk of Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha. Why? What is this thing that you're talking about? Is body? Nothing but the food you have eaten, modification. और कुछ नहीं है. वो देख के पता लग गया थोड़ा लड्डू पूरी ज़्यादा खाया है करके. Can make that out. Prana, energy level. Energy is what you are manipulating. You know, so much is all cosmic energy. So you're part of that cosmic energy. A big deal. Mind, emotions, understanding, knowledge, ignorance, all this. So what they are doing is looking at this whole system that you call you and saying that's all that is there. Where are you? Other than consciousness, where are you going to place the I? But we place. That's the problem. In today's world, the biggest problem is after the body, emotions. You place the I in your emotions. Your emotional life dictates you. Emotions are important. They'll tell you what is important for you. It's a huge thing. Yeah. That emotions are an important part of your functioning life. True. But we are talking of realities now. Because I don't feel empowered emotionally, I blame somebody else for my problems. The problem is I don't feel empowered. I don't feel capable of taking care of myself or taking care of my situation in life. Therefore, who's to blame is the next question. So at all these levels, appearances are taken as facts. Tell me, if you're looking at this body as Annamaya Kosha, how much factual it is? If you're taking your energy as yourself, high energy, low energy, you can shift from one to the other so fast. Emotions, morning you felt something, evening you felt something else. How much reality can you give all these things? Your understanding of the world keeps changing. So how much of it is factual? We are on very shaky ground. And therefore what? Only the consciousness is real. Everything else is appearance. Everything else is an appearance. Everything else is a standpoint. So all the identities that you build up, even though functionally valid, is it real? How real is an identity that you build up? Half the time it is on others' perception of what you are. And you giving into it, buying into it. Remember once we played that game, some of you were there, where I put bands on your head. You didn't know what you were, but others are treating you like that. And within 5 minutes of the game, you started behaving according to that. Or started trying to rebel against that. Because everyone is treating you like that. So it's a good thing you'll slip into it. If you are not happy with it, you'll try to rebel against it. 5 minutes. Then imagine the effect of you being brought up with all these labels. So how much of your identity is really you? Very little, no? I mean, some of the identities may have been good. It helped you grow, it helped you achieve things, it helped you, all that is fine. It helped you create a life you wanted. Yeah, but at the same time, you are not a fulfilled being. So are you willing to drop that to be a fulfilled being? How much that sense of fulfillment is important to you? So that you are willing to drop a highly competent identity and say, this is just only functional. I am Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. For that, the sense of fulfillment has to be important to you. If it is not the sense of fulfillment, you are only looking at it superficially, then you will not. You will be like my friend's younger sister, who told her, I don't want moksha in this lifetime. I want to come back 2-3 lifetimes and enjoy life, then I will think of moksha. For her, that fun is more important than fulfillment. And there are many of us like that. No? That superficial fun is more important than a deep-seated thing. Like going for a party where there are 100 people, you don't know half the characters. Or going for a quiet dinner with a few friends where the conversation is real and deep. Which is better? If you are the party kind, where is the party tonight? You will not appreciate the higher things. So similarly, how much vairagya do you have? How much commitment to the fulfillment you have? Your understanding will be based on that. Are you really committed to being a fulfilled being? Where you can say, I don't need anything to make me happy. I need a few things to become comfortable, max. But nothing more than that. So it is based on a commitment. That's called mumukshutvam. No? And to develop mumukshutvam, you need to have the goal clear in front of you. What is it you can become? And also see the limitations of the life I am leading now. Like one of my students came and told me, Swamiji, I am in a rut. It's a happy rut, but I am in a rut, all right. Can you see yourself there? Unless you are seriously studying Vedanta and things like that. Yeah, Bharati, you have a question.
So, Swamiji, I mean, okay, you move towards higher things, and like you gave the example of, whether you like to attend a party with 100 people or a few select friends. So you become a deeper person in that sense. But in everyone's life, I think so, I'm not sure about this. In everyone's life, there are a few unresolved issues in life. Is that true?
Yep, many people have unresolved issues. True. Many serious students of Vedanta have unresolved issues.
So, would that extend to even even Swamis? Would that extend to even Swamis?
Yeah, that is samadhamma lacking. That's a lacking of sama and dhamma. So you need to examine your thinking and see, are you on track or not? If you have unresolved issues, sit down with somebody who can help you and resolve it. It doesn't matter if you are a Swami. Some of my juniors come and talk to me about these issues. It's fine, because Puja Swamiji is not there. I was able to go to Puja Swamiji. It's fine. Go to your Guru, go to anyone who can help you. Sometimes all you need is a good friend who can tell you things as it is. Sometimes you may need a therapist, that's also fine. So unresolved issues can be there, yeah.
So would you say that you can never be fully realized
Fully?
unless all fully realized, you can never have that sense of fullness. Okay?
Yeah. If you have all these issues,
Yes.
fullness will not be there,
Or
correct?
will not be there.
Correct.
Is it so, Swamiji, or sometimes you can see that even the mithyatvam of the unresolved issues, if you look at it that way.
If you can see the mithyatvam very clearly, the issues are no more unresolved. They were issues and past memories. Okay? But very few can really, if there are really serious issues, then unless you psychologically resolve it, you will find it very difficult to see the mithyatvam of it. Some amount of psychological resolution is necessary. That is why samadhamma is put as a qualification. That sama there is resolving it. Jagdishan is saying something? No, okay. So that is where it is, See, psychologically you cannot completely resolve everything. You can resolve it enough to make your life fine. That's good enough. Then with that mind, if you study Vedanta, it can get completely resolved because of the mithyatva. But some amount of resolution has to be done before, especially if the issue is serious. Yeah. So that's the thing. It depends on how serious the issue was. Like, for example, many children feel their parents are not fair with them. They are partial towards some other child. Now, that's a small issue. Every child feels that. So, as you grow up and you understand psychologically, you understand, hey, nobody taught my parents how to parent. They had to struggle and learn and get it done. Therefore, they made their mistakes. So, that's okay. I'm fine now. Even if that much of resolution is there, it is enough. But supposing the child was abused, then that is a more serious issue that has to be dealt with. See, the child has to feel abused. Nowadays, children feel abused for nothing. You shout at the child goes and threatens to commit suicide. When we were students, we were whacked. We didn't feel abused. Yeah, in fact, in my school, this choice was given. Do you want to sit down and write imposition for an hour, or you want to take 2 canes on your hand? I'd always choose the caning. Why? In 5 minutes, I'm fine. Who wants to spend 1 hour writing imposition when in 5 minutes the caning pain is gone? So I didn't feel abused because of the physical punishment. Someone else may have. Oh, my parents used to hit me all the time. That's abuse. If you're feeling like that, then deal with it. Deal with it psychologically. To understand that's not
Then
abuse,
in
that was
that
one
case-
wild style of parenting. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that means in that case, the gauge is in my hands.
Yeah,
Would you say that?
of course.
That the gauge is in my hands?
Yeah, it is in your hands. Because finally you only can deal with it, nobody else can deal with it. Even if you want to go and seek help from a therapist, it is your choice, no? You still have to deal with it. The therapist can only be a facilitator for it. You have to deal with it. The therapist can give you a helping hand. The guru can give you a helping hand. A friend can give you a helping hand. You have to deal with it. Yeah. And that's important. Because without dealing with that, you can't sidestep that issue and come to the reality. Some people try that. In Buddhistic thinking, they'll say, no, just witness it. Witness it. You are asangaha. You are not touched by that. Witness it. Witness it. Correct, you witness it. Then what? But it's still troubling you, na? And you're witnessing the trouble also. So how much are you really free? You developed a skill of dissociation actually. When you're witnessing your own psychological trauma and saying, I am not that, in a way it is a bit of a dissociation. Because it's still there in your mind and troubling you, hijacking you. You have to deal with it psychologically. That's why our Vedantic masters were not fools when they said samadama is necessary. Just your witnessing practice or meditation practice is not going to help you through this. He said that earlier, remember? Sa kashayam vijaniyat prajnaya nisango bhavet. Understand it's kashaya, you have to deal with it. Let it come up and then you deal with it. So all these issues are there. You can't sidestep them. Yes, Karma Yoga and Bhakti both will help with Samadama. At the same time, some self-awareness and psychological processing by your own is also fine. See, psychological processing can be done on your own also. Let us say you feel helpless in life. You talk to somebody. Say, what are you feeling helpless in life? You are educated, this, that, etc. Go, get up and do things. And you feel worse. But you are a bhakta. So you'll sit down and say what? In front of the Lord and says, एक झूले में फूल खिले हैं, दूसरे में तो कांटे, कोई कारण होगा, कारण होगा. Up to here is very logical. Then the emotional logic comes in, completely illogical. आपके बस में कुछ भी नहीं है, बांटने वाले बांटे रे. Nothing is in your hands. The Lord is. Because that's what you're feeling. You're feeling a sense of helplessness. So when you're feeling that sense of helplessness, this type of bhakti, you are validating that feeling. Are, correct. Then you sing like that, maybe you have tears in your eyes, and after that you'll get up and what? Chalo, let me take care of things. Because you felt validated. What your friend couldn't give you, the bhajan gave you. The Lord gave you. Yeah. So that way bhakti helps. Yeah. So there are plenty of bhajans like this. I mean, you all should know it better than me. I'm not much into bhajans. But what I listen, I understand. And I know how it used to be used. Yeah. So the validation you want, here it is. A more sophisticated version. Uddhara mam dheenam ati dheenam balahinam. Hey Govinda, hey Gopal. Hey Govinda, hey Gopal, my teacher's composition. Uddhara mam dheenam. Please lift me up. I'm dheenam. Ati dheenam. Can't do anything on my own. Then he goes on saying Vedam na jane, mantram na jane, dhyanam na jane, everything. I don't know any of this. I only need to call out for your help. It's a sophisticated version of saying the same thing. Why? Because validates your feeling, what you're feeling at that time. All that I know is useless. Or self-esteem bhajans. I said about this also. Janata Ganga Par Prabhu ko Kevat ke nav pade. Lord Rama wanted to cross the river. So he had to depend on the Kevat, the boatman. Guha. There's a long story about it. There's a nice interaction there also. Guha is telling Rama, please be careful. Wash your feet before you step into the boat. Why? Because I heard about your pag dhul ke mahima. A rock became a lady. Ahalya. If my boat becomes a lady, I won't know what to do with it. My boat is my livelihood. So there's a lot of fun interactions also there. That shows his sense of self-esteem. He can joke with the Lord. Then he takes Rama across, and Rama opens his wallet for a coin to give it to him, a gold coin. He refuses to accept it. Says why? Says a barber doesn't take from another barber. Nyai se na nyai lete. Na mochi se mochi. Mochi will not take from another. Says what is the comparison? I am the Prince of Ayodhya. You are a boatman. You came to my ghat, I took you across. When I come to your ghat, you take me across. So our both jobs are ferrying people across. So that's a self-esteem bhajan. You imagine thinking like singing like this. There has to be a sense of self-esteem flooding you, na? A boatman can think like that. Why? I'm much better. Yeah. The self-esteem bhajan. So bhakti can also replace it, but you have to understand that bhajans properly. You have to learn how to classify it. Not just sing for singing's sake. Yeah, understand what it is meant to do to your psyche. Yeah. In fact, in North Indian music, they'll say, na, अगर चोट नहीं पहुंचा तो गायिका नहीं बन सकता है. You have to have endured pain in your life, because half the songs are of viraha, of longing, and half the songs are of the joys of milan. Yeah. So what I am trying to say is, all the psychological awareness we use to become a mature human being, then the understanding that the world is nothing but an appearance and I am the only reality is the final step. That is the understanding. That's what you work on. That's what you get into. And it's not a big thing. It looks a big thing. It's not. It's far easier than what you think it is. Because what is the journey? From I to myself. Or kya journey hai? And what you have to do? Look at sadhana chatushtayam. After that, who has to do all the work? The teacher has to do all the work. No? You have to listen. Prevent your mind from running here and there. Be there. And let the words take you to the truth. Itna hi baat hai. So when I say world is an appearance, you will be able to see it. Yeah, everything is just an appearance, not fact. The bond was just an appearance. Correct? Just a concept. It's based on the reality, but it's not the reality. That's all that is there. उसका बाद क्या है? उसका बाद go and have a cup of tea or or dinner, whatever is appropriate right now. Okay, good place to stop. 2 verses only we did, but I want you all to understand the level, the depth of what we are getting into. Okay, Om Tat Sat.